If you've been thinking about getting into the insurance sales business but are unsure, I'm going to kind of take the typical spin and turn it on its head and give you 5 reasons why you shouldn't enter the insurance business. My name is David Duford, owner of davidduford.com, where I coach, train, and recruit agents to become top producers. So let's give you the 5 big reasons why you shouldn't consider joining or selling life insurance or any kind of insurance whatsoever. So the first reason is that you lack discipline. So just like Arnold Schwarzenegger said, if you lack discipline, you should not be selling insurance. I don't know if he actually said it about insurance, but the lacking discipline comment is spot on. Insurance is essentially a business. Selling insurance is, at least. You have to motivate yourself every morning to get up and go to work, deal with adversity, and quite frankly, nobody's going to care if you fail out or succeed. It's up to you entirely. The buck stops with you. If you want to be successful, you've got to discipline yourself to a consistent, everyday approach, prospecting for business, seeing the people, and rinsing and repeating, even if you've had a difficult day. If you lack this style of long-term discipline, then count yourself out. This business isn't for you. What you'll probably end up doing is getting into even more financial problems that you already are in because you won't have a wage. Many times in the insurance business, you're on a straight commission. And so you're totally responsible for what you kill. What you eat is what you kill. So if you can't handle that, insurance isn't for you, and that's fine. It's not a criticism. It's just what is required. Number 2, you don't like in-home sales or going to other places to do business. If you like going to an office, if you like the office camaraderie, you very rarely will find that in the insurance business. Not always. If you sell property and casualty, you sell for one of the brick and mortar companies, or you go to a call center, you'll certainly have an office environment. But many of us, like myself, have to go out every day to different households across the country or businesses and see the people in their surroundings, in their habitats. That means you may be in some pretty strange places. If I told you all the things I've seen in the average American's household, it would make you blush. It's quite crazy what people do in their own quarters. So if you don't like that idea, you may not like selling insurance. It's just part of the deal. Many people eventually get to the point of selling out of their own office, but it's something that doesn't arrive immediately for most of us. Number 3, you need to make money yesterday. Look, with most insurance jobs being a straight commission sales opportunity, it's likely that if you're deeply in debt, you're under financial pressure, your family's depending on you to make money, and you're already behind, that insurance is just not right now the best thing to do. However, I still think insurance is a great opportunity, even if you like the idea of selling insurance, but you just financially are in a bad spot. Always wait, come back to it. There may be a better time when you can give yourself the out of financial difficulties in order to give yourself the best shot of success. I think that's fine, but a lot of people come into this business as a last-ditch effort. They have nothing to lose because they have nothing to lose, and you don't want to be in that position, because it's likely that you'll fail out of this business, you'll carry a bad stigma with it, and you just didn't give yourself the best shot because you weren't financially sound. What would be better is you start off, and again, not everybody thinks the way I do, but I'm a big advocate on keeping a job that pays the bills and starting to sell insurance part-time. You can learn your craft. You won't have as much financial difficulty because you've got money coming in from somewhere else, and that gives you the time to learn and become successful. So look at that as an alternative. Number 4, you're not fond of people. If you're not a people person, don't sell insurance. You don't have to be everybody's best friend. I'm somewhat of an introvert. I'm not a talker. I chit-chat a little bit if I'm interested in somebody, but I usually get right down to business. I like people. I like to help them out. I like to feel like I'm of service to them, but you don't have to be some giant extrovert. I definitely am not. But you got to want to help people. If you don't care about people and you don't really not emotionally invested to a basic degree, then you just won't do well. The insurance business is a people business, and it's helping normal people for the most part. And if you're just not excited by that, then it's not for you. Fine. Number 5, you recoil at approaching people. So this is something that can be taught if you are, again, an introvert. but you don't like approaching people. And sometimes you can augment in the way that you do approach people. What I mean by that is, if I had to start in this business cold calling people, I would never have done it, because the idea at the time in my life, cold calling was bad. I didn't want to bother people. So what I did instead is I purchased leads. I generated leads, paid leads. And so I got to talk to people who are marginally interested, which helped me in that apprehension of approaching people cold. Because if someone sends in a lead, they are expressing some base level of interest. They may not buy, but at least they sent the card back or the requested information. I know that they're a little bit more interested than the average Joe. And they sent the card in, they probably know somebody's going to show up. So for me, that was big. So, but that recoil thing, you got to be willing to start conversations. That's kind of the key thing. Are you comfortable starting a conversation? If you're not, probably not going to do well. So these are my 5 reasons you shouldn't sell insurance. These are very basic, nothing mind-blowing here. You got to have discipline and commitment to this business, because you're going to have adversity, and you've got to have a work ethic to really let the numbers work in your advantage, because insurance to an extent is a numbers game. Number 2, you got to be comfortable in other people's environments. You're not going to be doing office appointments at your leisure, at your house or office. You're going to be on people's territory and turf, because that's where the action happens, and that's probably where your prospects reside most of the time. Number 3, don't do this business out of the gate if you're starving, literally. Consider getting a full-time job to pay your basic bills and using insurance on a part-time basis to develop your craft so that eventually you can go full-time once you're competent and confident. Number 4, if you don't like people, don't do this business. Pretty self-explanatory. Number 5, if you don't like approaching people, don't do this business. Or learn how to do it with props and crutches like I did with paid leads in order to make it more palatable. If you like this video, please subscribe. Make sure you also comment below if you have any questions. Again, don't waste your time in the insurance business if you feel like this stuff doesn't appeal to you. Trust me, there's a lot of other businesses out there in other industries that probably will. Our job, I think, in our life is to find what our calling is. Sometimes we can't get everything perfect, but we need to take time to find the right thing for us, because if we don't enjoy what we do, it's very hard, I believe, to become excellent. And that's really the goal. In order for you to make good living, have a good life, and feel like you're doing something that's important. Thank you so much for watching. David Duford at davidduford.com. Check me out if you'd like to join and sell insurance. I do recruit nationally in my agency. It's davidduford.com. Click Join Dave's Agency at the top to learn more. Y'all take care. See you.